Hey, what's up? Nick Peterson here. Eating goldfish. Check it out. Just snack this a miles back. And coffee. Goldfish and black coffee. I don't know. It's my thing right now. Let's talk about this idea that people that pay attention. Because if it's not framed appropriately, I think it does more harm than good. Let me explain. So the whole idea, I charge money because people that pay attention is backwards and it's off-putting to people like me. Maybe I'm not your ideal client, but I paid $3,600 for an event. And the night before I said, you know what? I don't really want to go. I'm going to spend time with my dogs. I don't want to drive to LA, whatever. But I paid. I didn't pay attention. I've paid almost $10,000 for a program, $9,800 for a program, and then never logged in. Okay. And that's not, it's because I value my time more than my money. Okay. I value my time more than my money. And so one of the questions I get all the time is like, how do you connect with these people and why do these people work with you? And how do you partner with that guy and this lady? And one of the foundational reasons is I understand what people value. Okay. So when you say people that pay money, pay attention, you are making a series of assumptions. Most importantly, the assumption that they value their money more than their time. Now, by not always, but by and large, if somebody values their money more than their time, it's because they have a lot of time and not a lot of money. Okay. So if in your world, if in your group, if on your email list, if your belief is that people that pay money are going to pay attention, then you are speaking to and catering to people that have a lot of time and not a lot of money. Now, maybe that's your audience, but a lot of times people want a more sophisticated, more affluent audience, and they say things like people that pay attention. And that's not true. Not if we're talking about money, right? If I have somebody that has a lot of money and they're busy and they got a lot of conflicting priorities, I know they're paying attention if I can get their time. Because people like that, and myself included, though I'm not sophisticated nor affluent, I will pay money so I don't have to pay attention. Right. So you have to understand, if you're talking to people that value that, if they have a lot of money but not a lot of time, paying does not get them to pay attention. They'll just pay for things to go away because of all the commitments they have, all the time commitments, right? So if you're approaching the world and your marketing and your sales thinking, if I charge more, people will pay more attention, you are effectively excluding people with money and not a lot of time from your whole entire process, which is ridiculous because those are the best clients, in my opinion. They just give you a whole bunch of money and they say, save me time. And it's awesome. Okay. So think about that. And I know if that hits you in the gut, if you're like, oh, but I want to charge more so people pay attention. One, you're playing in the wrong audience. Two, you're trying to justify charging more. It's probably an ego thing. That's fine too. But we have to be aware of these things. Okay. Let me know if that makes sense. I haven't actually drank my coffee yet. So sometimes I don't make sense until the coffee has been fully consumed. But we can't say that somebody that values their time, they're busy, they're important, there's a lot of stuff on their schedule, they're high demand, and they have a ton of money. To say if they pay more money, they'll pay attention is ridiculous. It's just like, let's think about things a little bit. And now, if you are purposely marketing and selling and fulfilling to people that have no money but a lot of time, then it makes sense. Time is something they don't value very much because they have a lot of it. And money is something they value quite a bit because they don't have much. But you have to understand that when you say that, people that pay attention. I know you are marketing to poor people with a lot of time. You might not know that. but that's because I will pay again, just beat a dead horse here, but I will pay so that I don't have to pay attention. That's what happens when you start valuing time more than money. You will pay for things to go away. So the idea of people that pay attention doesn't make sense. Now, a little frame shift, little tiny frame shift, because also if you think that way, you're probably super money focused. People that pay attention makes sense if we can agree that there are many ways to pay. So if, Tony Robbins took 2 days to come do an office day here, obviously I wouldn't charge him just because he has money. I might charge him for my time, but not to pay attention. The fact that he took 2 days out of a hectic schedule is the thing that he values most. He's going to pay attention, right? So what a lot of people are doing is they're trying to hit a high-end market and they're speaking to a very low-end market. Does that make sense? Drop a comment. Let me know, because I want to make sure that I'm connecting with you here. But that's the problem. That's the problem with people that pay attention, is like only if they value the money more than the time it would take to pay attention to you. I will pay for stuff and not pay attention to it. That's okay, because I don't have money problems, right? Money's not really an issue. And that's just me personally. Like, money's just not really a thing. So I'll pay for stuff, and then the conflict is usually on my time, my energy, and my bandwidth. And so I just ignore the stuff I paid for, right? So if you want me as a buyer, you don't try to get me to pay money to pay attention, right? You get me to pay attention. And then once you have my attention, once I give you the time, it's a signal that I will probably give you a whole bunch of money if you ask for it, right? It's just kind of an inverted sales process, in that affluent, busy people, you get them to pay with their time first, and they will give you almost any amount of money after. If you try to get them to pay attention, what you've done is you've basically given them a free pass to ignore you, right? Whatever, he got paid. So he got paid for his time. So it's not a big deal that I'm not going to show up. That's how I felt about the event I went to. That's how I felt about the $10,000 program. I said, well, I paid for it. They don't get my time or attention. I'm not going to charge back. Like, it's my fault. And I've actually never contacted either one of those vendors or service providers again. I paid a lot of money, which gave me a right to ignore them because they got paid. And I never paid attention. So think about that. So important for customers for life. It's so important for business strategy. You can't just run around and say, like, repeat this ridiculous rhetoric that doesn't make sense. Most marketing, most sales, most biz op, webinar ads, all that is biz op. And it is designed specifically to speak to poor people. So I would be very, very careful on trying to model the way that they market and sell and the things that they say, right? This whole dig for pain, that only works for people that don't have aspirations. Aspirational marketing works pretty well, right? But if you're targeting people in pain that don't have money, then yeah, you dig for pain and you say things like, people that pay attention. So that's true to that segment of the market, but that's your segment of the market. Do not go to affluent people that are awesome clients because they just pay money and they're professional and the world's not on fire all the time. And you don't say, I need you to pay, so you pay attention. At that point, they'll probably just pay you to go away, which is not a good customers for life strategy, right? We want their attention. We want their engagement. We want their involvement. We want their activity. We want all of their friends to come give us money too, right? So that starts with attention. So if you're going to run around with people that pay attention, caveat, people that pay with their time People that value their time more than their money, if they pay with their time, they're going to pay attention. People that value their money more than their time, if they pay with their money, they're going to pay attention. If you get them mixed up, you are going to get a whole lot of nothing. You might get one-off payments, and people will never talk to you again. Or on the flip side, if you take people that value their money more than their time and you give them free stuff, they're assholes. They will suck all the time out of your freaking day, right? But it's just about being aware of who you're talking to and what they value. Stop assuming you put the same value on time everybody else does. Stop assuming everybody else puts the same value on money that you do. It makes you an empathetic business owner, a phenomenal marketer, a great salesperson, and you don't have to do any weird salesy stuff. Yep. Andrew says they paid but don't pay attention. Yep. It's a myth. It's a myth that universally somebody giving you money means they're going to pay attention. There are plenty of people with bookshelves like mine. See, mine are all like crooked and shit because I actually read them. Plenty of people that buy all these books and never read them. Giving money does not mean attention. It just means I value something, right? I might value you going away. I might value, things that I value, I pay money for. That's not true for me. Things that I value the most, I take time for. I pay for all the stuff I don't really want to do. I pay for things to go away. I pay so I don't have to pay attention. But me personally, right? Again, just beating a dead horse here. I pay attention to the things that get my time, not my money. And that's going to be true for people that have enough money that they don't have to stress about it and not enough time yet. So 7-figure, 8-figure business owners, a lot of times what they're optimizing for is to get more time back, right? They want 10 hours a week back. So if they give you 3 hours, that's huge for them. That's a big deal, whether there's a money exchange or not. Right? Now, people that don't have any money, what they're optimizing for is every dollar possible. So if they give you a couple bucks, it's a big deal for them. Just pay attention to other people. Stop assuming that we all value things that keep score the same. That's the magic. Hopefully it's useful. I'm going to go back to eating my goldfish.